Hey everyone, I don't have any plans for this video. This is just going to be a short ramble with a couple updates for fitness content coming out soon. I'm very excited for that. And I don't know, we could talk about whatever, but this is just a little mini ramble. So, first things first, I ordered a tripod off Amazon that should be coming within the next couple weeks or so because I ordered it with some other things. So, it should I don't know, it'll be here in a few weeks. But so I got the tripod. I'm going to be filming. I'm going to be able to film with my phone on that so I can go actually film stuff at the gym, like all my sets and everything, all my different workouts. So I will be doing that, and I will be posting that content here on this channel under fitness things. I'll incorporate it into my gym tips series, of course. Gym tips 3 already came out. Hope you guys have watched that. Gym tips 4 will be coming out in the next few weeks. But yeah, I will be incorporating actual videos of my workouts into gym tips, as well as I might just do like some like walkthrough of my, let's say, chest and back day, or walkthrough of my charms day, or walkthrough of my leg day, right? And just to kind of show what I do typically for the day. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna be able to add more content into the fitness videos, not just like have B-roll footage or whatever. Apart from that, I haven't made any purchases for this channel. I mean, I've had this mic forever, so I'm keeping it. It sounds good, so I don't need to change anything about that. Apart from that, so this I'm recording this before I've finished editing the Brave New World video. I'm working on editing that right now, actually. Um, so this will be out after the Brave New World video. So I hope you all enjoyed that. I mean, I can't really say that I had a lot of fun making it because I didn't finish it, but so far I've been having a lot of fun making it. The audio was a lot of fun to record. I wrote the whole script. It was like 3,000 words, I think. I'll check right now. Um, yeah, the script was okay, 2,700 words. So, yeah, 2,700 words. I wrote it all in the span of like an hour and a half. I had a lot to write about. I didn't take too much time to write it, but yeah, I wrote most of it in all like an hour and a half, and I kind of liked the script when I finished it. So I didn't. I made a couple tweaks here and there, but most of it was just like basic script, and then I would go off a little bit on my own. But that was a lot of fun to write and to record as well. I'm editing it right now. It's not very fun to edit. I'll tell you that. I'm trying to make this a little more, I guess, how do I say it? Palatable, right? Palatable as a video for a wider audience, right? So I'm adding more B-roll footage. I'm adding more edits and cuts here and there. So this has been probably the most intensive video in terms of editing that I've had to work on. I don't mind it. Uh, Typically, editing will take me a few hours. Some of my videos, I kind of have a routine for editing, so it'll take me like 30 minutes to an hour. But this one's been taking me a while, so I'm doing this 2 days. That's why I couldn't get it out this weekend. I had to push the editing. I had to push it back to Monday, I guess, which is today when I'm recording this. It's very confusing, but yeah, I had to push it back a little bit because of the sheer amount of clips that I had to splice together and all the cuts I had to do. So thank you for bearing with me there. But I hope that the time I took to put into the video made it worthwhile to listen to. I enjoyed making it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it, and I hope it does well in views. But that's whatever. I don't really care about that. Um, if you guys would like to see me do more book like video essays or whatever, I've read a decent amount of books in my lifetime. I do want to get into more classics. Like I read War of the Worlds a few months ago. Loved that book. It was wonderful, fantastic. I did not expect it to turn out the way it did. I thought it was going to be like, I don't even know what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a lot cornier, to be honest, but it was really, really good. Um, I have a book list. I could share the book list on like Instagram or something. If you guys aren't following my Instagram, you probably should. But I will, if you guys want to see my book list, I can share that. I have a few good ones on there. I haven't read Pride and Prejudice, surprisingly. I've read a lot of books. I have not read that. My mother has been insisting that I read it, so I might give it a shot at some point. Um, Another one that I really want to read is Anna Karenina. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. It's by Tolstoy. I was another another little shout out to the YouTube channel Alex Talks ASMR. She did a video a while back where she was reading because I think it's in the public domain or something like that. But yeah, she was reading like a chapter from that book, and it was really good. I really liked the story from that one chapter, and the video ended. I was like, wait, what happens next? Do they get together? Like, do they finally meet each other again or something? I don't know, but it was a really cool story. I really liked it from the video, so I do want to give that reading a shot. It's at the library headquarters in my county. So I have to request it to my local library because I do not want to drive the 30 minutes it takes to get to the headquarters. So I will request the thing and hopefully get to reading that soon because that's the next book I want to read. Right now I am reading, well, I just finished Brave New World. I'm reading Abundance right now by Ezra Klein. I would totally be down to make a whole video about abundance and the themes surrounding that novel. It's not a novel, but the theme surrounding that book, because it's really interesting from a perspective of some Ezra Klein. I mean, I'm sure you guys know him, and he had a co-author. I want to give him his flowers too. Abundance, manufacturing and producing, especially in America, but we have really failed to keep up in terms of housing and infrastructure, like public transportation or affordable housing, and we failed to keep in par with that as compared to other countries as well. So they give their takes on it, which is primarily that legislature, especially on the local and state levels, are what prevents projects from being pushed forward, right? So there's a like a I guess there's a high speed rail project that is trying to be set up in California. They've started working on it, thank goodness, because that's great to see. But it took a while for them to finally get permissions and permits to be able to build this high speed rail in California, because there's so many laws that are like not in my backyard laws, where a lot of people would vote against building new infrastructure in their neighborhoods or near their neighborhoods because they fear that the value of property is going to decline. Which they also talk about how viewing property as a means of investment has kind of flipped the housing market on its head, where houses aren't things for people to live in, they're more just assets for people to own and to make money off of. So they get into a lot of detail regarding both of those. It's really good. I would highly recommend you read it. It's partial in the sense that obviously it's written primarily for Democrats or for liberals, because their voices aren't necessarily being spoken to right-leaning individuals or right-leaning politicians, because in the book, they kind of specify that I guess Republican neighborhoods and Republican states have done a very good job of being able to bring more infrastructure into these areas, right? Texas has a huge housing boom because their legislature insists that, yes, we need to build more housing to grow our population, to grow our economy, right? So and this is not just isolated to Texas. You see Florida, you see places like Oklahoma, other right-leaning cities and states have been able to pass a lot of infrastructure bills, which have kind of caused a migration to these areas because housing is cheaper and there's more stuff to do, compared to liberal cities, which you see a lot of population decrease. In New York, lots of people are leaving New York. LA, I mean, there's a lot going in LA, right? There's a lot going on in LA right now. But in general, in LA, San Francisco, a lot of these liberal cities, you see population decreasing because housing prices is increasing because there's less housing, there's less supply, increase of demand. It kind of just leads to higher prices, right? So Ezra Klein and Derek Thompson, they're more speaking towards liberal people. This is a very long-winded way to say that. So, but you don't have to be liberal to read the book. There's a lot of really interesting factoids and pieces of knowledge, and they go throughout all the history of why this problem has arisen, because they go back all the way to the 1800s, where you have westward expansion and people moving into cities for work, and you see the reversal of that throughout the 1950s and the 60s and the 70s, where the view of housing becomes less of a place to live, like I said before, more of an asset. So there's a lot of good history behind the whole thing, and they do provide some insight into what can be done in the future, and they ask really good questions about what should be done in the future to make housing more affordable and to fix problems with infrastructure or the lack thereof. And as a follow-up piece of media, they did an interview with Gavin Newsom. He's the governor of California, where they asked him specific policy questions, which I think is really great, about what California wants to do to address the issue of homelessness, because homelessness is a really big problem in California. And I've shouted out Atrioc before. Atrioc he's a streamer. He does like business news and global finance stuff. It's really great. He is a co-host on the Lemonade Stand podcast. Him, Doug, and Aiden, they're all hosts of the Lemonade Stand podcast. And in a fairly recent episode, I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, they discussed the book Abundance, right? They all read it as part of their book club with their Discord or something, and they kind of shared their ideas about infrastructure and what they think should be done about it. And Doug and Atrioc actually interviewed Gavin Newsom fairly recently, but it was a cool opportunity. Unfortunately, I totally understand. They weren't able to ask all the questions they want because it was a really short interview. It was like 45 minutes or something, which is unfortunate. And I know that they wanted to ask more specific questions about policy, which would have been great to hear. But you could check out their interview as well with Gavin Newsom, because he does provide some good insight into what California wants to do moving forward about policy changes, or being able to convince the public that, hey, infrastructure is good, and if you support all of these, like BLM, LGBTQ rights, all of these social issues, and you want to end you want to end homelessness, you got to vote in the way that would increase the supply of housing. So you want to vote to let these infrastructure bills pass so that we can build more things. You can have more zoning areas for public housing or for public transportation. So I would really check out their interview with Gavin Newsom. I would do that obviously after reading the book, if you want to read the book at all. I'm not going to tell you that you have to read or anything like that, but I thought it was really interesting, and I think you could find some parts of it interesting too. You could skim the book, but get a good idea of the book, because there's a lot of people who don't understand what the book is about and they're hating on it, and I think it's unjustifiable. But yeah, that's the book I'm reading right now. Apart from that, not many channel updates. If you do actually want to see a video essay kind of video about abundance, or about my thoughts on infrastructure and housing, affordable housing across America and cities and whatnot, I would love to make a video on it. I would like to hear your thoughts. I might just make one anyways, because I can make whatever videos I want. But yeah, that's about it for this video. We've hit about 15 minutes, so I don't want to make it too much longer. Actually, it's going to be less than 15 minutes because I'm going to cut this down a lot, because there's a lot of blank spaces where I'm collecting my thoughts in this video. But yeah, this will be not too long of a video, hopefully, probably about 10 minutes or so. But I just want to give a couple channel updates regarding the fitness stuff and whatever books I'm reading, because I'm trying to get back into reading, which is cool. The summer's been going pretty well so far. I've been working a lot, going to the gym, obviously. I don't know. I hope the weather warms up. By me, it's been pretty cold and rainy recently. We had a couple good warm days last week, but I think this Thursday is supposed to be nice. So I actually don't know when this video is coming out, so whenever the Thursday, the 13th is, that's the warm day. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Thank you all for listening to my little ramble. If you enjoyed, smash the like button and hit the subscribe button too if you want to see more content from me. I actually really don't care. I just like making these videos, so you can do whatever the heck you want. Yeah, thanks. Go view the Brave New World video. I think you'll really like it. And yeah, thanks. Bye bye. Actually, wait, I forgot to do my regular outro. Have a great day.